I want to connect right now. My colleague Rajesh Pawar, reporting from the streets of Kyiv, joining us live right now. Rajesh, a ceasefire as of now. Give us a sense of where you are, what you witnessed today.
I am in Kyiv now, in the center of Kyiv, and Kyiv has been relatively calm. There have been no firing, no bombing, no missiles, nothing of any sort. In last 48 hours here, it's quite calm. It's a beautiful morning here now, and the supplies have improved. Things are much better now than it was probably 7 to 8 days back. And but on the outskirts of Kyiv, like in Irpin, from where I was reporting yesterday, things are still pretty bad. Fighting is going on. In fact, fierce fighting is going on right now between both the Ukrainian and the Russian forces. There are tanks all around the city. There is Russian infantry inside the city, and it's an urban battle going on between the militia and the military from the Ukrainian side and the Russian infantry inside the Irpin city, which is still like half of it is with Russia and half of it is with Ukraine right now. That is continuing. And the ceasefire here, let's not read too much into this ceasefire. This is a humanitarian ceasefire. This ceasefire is basically to facilitate movement of civilians out of these 4 cities towards west, where they want to go for safety, wherever it is, so that in case the operations commence later on, and if there is bombardment of the residential complexes, there is no civilian casualty. So it is just a humanitarian ceasefire, just for the evacuation of these people. In Kyiv, a lot of refugees have come in last 48 hours from Irpin and nearby villages, which are not very far from Kyiv. And these people have all concentrated inside Kyiv, near the train stations. Additional trains have been placed, and these people right now are being evacuated towards west of Ukraine. Over to you.
Rajesh, earlier on, are there people now today en masse moving out of Kyiv? Not many were left behind, only those who really didn't have much of an option. But do you still now see an outflow of whoever was left earlier now to get out of the city completely?
Look, most of the people from Kyiv, the civilian people who have no role in any kind of fighting or essential services, most of them left city around 7 to 8 days back. And then 5 days ago, there was a warning by the Russian government to the civilians here to vacate the city, so that in case there is an attack, they are not harmed. So remaining of them left after that warning was issued. And as I had reported 3 days back from the main train station in Kyiv, the near and dear ones, the families of the military personnel, militia, people who have to stay back for whatever reason, they even dispatched their families 3 to 4 days back. So there is hardly anybody from Kyiv city as such who is still left behind. The people who are right now at the train station in Kyiv are from nearby villages and from Irpin. Over to you.
Is Kyiv now seeing a lot of inflow from people from Irpin? Because, you know, our colleague Gaurav is reporting from Irpin right now, and there seems to be a steady stream of people who are being evacuated from Irpin and being brought into Kyiv.
Yes, that is true. Since the fighting commenced in Irpin 4 days ago, there has been a steady stream of people leaving those areas. A lot of them left yesterday, as I reported, and all these people are concentrating in Kyiv because Kyiv is the biggest train station in this region, and you can get trains for any part of Ukraine from Kyiv, and additional trains are being placed in the Kyiv train station, and that is the reason all these people right now are coming towards Kyiv or are being evacuated to Kyiv train stations, from where they can go wherever they want, outside the country or inside Ukraine. Over to you.
Rajesh, what are you picking up on the complete evacuation of Indian citizens in Sumy and Kharkiv now?
See, Sumy is one area where Indian students are still stuck, lots of them. And that is one area which kind of was a humanitarian crisis as far as Indian students are concerned, because there was intense fighting in that area for last 8 to 10 days, heavy shelling. As a result, students could not move out of bomb shelters or wherever they have taken shelter against air raids. And because of this fighting. Also, Sumy is not a very big city. So the connectivity of Sumy is not as good as probably Kharkiv or Kyiv. So the trains, buses, taxis moving out of the city are very limited, and students could not get access to that. And that is one big reason why Indian students remain stranded in that city, which hopefully now in this 4 days of humanitarian ceasefire there, they will be able to move out to safety, either through Russia or through the neighboring countries in the west of Ukraine. Over to you.
All right, Rajesh, we're going to continue to come back to you, but just give us a sense, when does the ceasefire get over? And once it is over, What can Kyiv expect?
Look, the Russian forces, which was first reported by NASA and the American media, American government passes information to Ukrainians and to world media, was a 63-kilometer long convoy of Russian armored vehicles and Russian forces in the north of Kyiv. And today, Russian Defense Ministry have also confirmed this and have issued photos and videos of a 23-kilometer long convoy outside on the skirts of Kyiv city, just 20 to 25 kilometers away. So this is a huge force which is being amassed there, and they are just waiting orders to assault Kyiv. But let me give you one important piece of information. Irpin comes into play here, because Irpin is on the main axis which leads to Kyiv from northwest. So it is very essential from military point of view for the Russian forces to clear Irpin before they can launch a final assault on Kyiv. And that most likely will take a few days more. Besides that, there is diplomacy is also going on right now. Right now, as we speak, the Russian and the Ukrainian representatives are meeting in Belarus, and probably in a couple of days, they will again be holding, as per reports, a meeting in Turkey. So diplomacy is going on side by side, and as we see the ceasefire on these humanitarian grounds in these four cities, Russian forces continue to advance in the eastern side of Ukraine and from the south towards north. Over to you.
Appreciate you joining us, Rajesh. We're going to continue coming back to you. Be safe, and we'll come back to you.